Welcome back to NBC Update channel. Today we will learn about the storm Sami Brady brings back to Salem, an engagement bombshell that rattles EJ, stuns family, and sets off a domino chain of confrontations, secrets, and surprising alliances. Sami's return shock. Sami Brady returns to Salem not quietly, but with a ring and a secret fiancé whose identity she refuses to spill, yet the announcement alone shifts power dynamics across town within hours. Multiple outlets confirm that her engagement reveal is positioned as a marquee moment of the anniversary festivities, designed to ignite old rivalries and awaken unresolved feelings. EJ's simmering reaction. EJ Demera tries to maintain composure, but the news lands like a body blow, reopening the complicated history he's never fully packed away. Insiders hint he still harbors hopes of reconciliation, making Sami's new commitment a bitter pill that forces him to confront what he's lost and what he's willing to fight for. Eric's homecoming. Eric Brady arrives in Salem right as these sparks fly, returning alongside several familiar faces, which only amplifies the emotional stakes of the week. His presence at family gatherings and milestone events becomes a stabilizing force, but he too will be drawn into the swirl around Sami's reveal and the uneasy truce that follows. Kat and the Sami mystery. Kat Green, who once paused at Marlena's townhouse when she recognized Sami in a photograph, is poised for a reveal that the show has quietly planted for months. Annalyn McCord has teased that the recognition beat was extremely important and will pay off in a callback, suggesting a deeper tie that reframes Kat's motives and her orbit around the Bradas. The engagement bomb. Sami's engagement plays like a precision strike, public enough to be undeniable, secretive enough to fuel dangerous speculation. Official previews and spoiler coverage emphasize that the fiancé's identity is under wraps, with the scene crafted to shock inner circle family members, first setting off private confrontations before Salem can spin the rumor mill. Who's the fiancé? Fan chatter tilts toward past loves, with Lucas Horton emerging as a leading theory given history and unfinished business. Some spoiler analysts point to his candidacy as the most poetic choice. Others caution that keeping the identity hidden suggests a more disruptive twist outside the usual suspects, or an old name returning at exactly the wrong time. Lucas and Philip collide. Lucas Horton re-enters the drama with his own agenda, and early teases suggest he corners Philip Kyriakis for answers that tie corporate intrigues to personal loyalties. With Philip already woven into contested Titan maneuvers and fraught relationships, Lucas pressing him could surface secrets that ripple into Sami's storyline and EJ's response. Family celebration twist. Amid all the tension, Sami throws a baby shower in honor of a new grandson, sing joy as both a shield and a stage. The party is set to become a crucible, friends and rivals under one roof, toasts edged with subtext, and one sparkling ring that says far more than any speech ever could. EJ's crossroads. EJ's next moves will define his arc, accept Sami's engagement and retreat into strategy, or challenge the narrative and risk looking desperate. The update hints he'll be forced to accept the situation after a charged encounter, acceptance here reading less as surrender and more as a recalibration of tactics and timing. Kat's buried memory. Kat's half-remembered link to Sami suggests a storyline that loops through Marlene, legacy photos, and a moment that Kat brushed off too quickly at the time. If that memory surfaces at the wrong moment, during the baby shower or a gala toast, it could reframe alliances and nudge EJ, Lucas, and even Eric into unexpected positions. The gala stage. All signs point to the engagement reveal and its fallout syncing with a major anniversary event, upping the spectacle and the stakes. Big Salem parties are where quiet truths become public performance. This one is telegraphed as no exception, with the ring reveal already featured in weekly preview hype. Why this stings EJ? For EJ, Sami's news isn't just romantic closure, it's a political loss. A Demera is strongest when two things align: personal leverage and public perception. Sami's announcement strips him of both in one scene, making his next corporate and family plays harder to sell. Lucas tightrope. If Lucas is indeed close to the truth, his conversations with Philip could double as reconnaissance for Sami's sake, or as insurance for his own. Salem experience has taught him that affection and strategy are rarely separable, and the week's teasers place him precisely where personal and business secrets overlap. Philip's pressure cooker. Philip's recent entanglements and Titan stressors make him vulnerable to probing, and Lucas asking pointed questions could expose a trail that affects multiple families. With prior plots involving forged letters and shifting corporate shares still echoing, even a hint of impropriety could become leverage in the hands of the wrong ex. Kat's leverage vector. If Kat's recognition of Sami connects to a past encounter or shared secret, she gains a subtle leverage that doesn't require open confrontation. A single well-timed acknowledgement in public "we've met" could set EJ on alert, Lucas on edge, and Sami on defense without Kat ever showing her whole hand. The Ring as message. The Ring is a character in its own right this week, a visual cue in promo material that exposes the secret before the name is said aloud. Salem veterans know that a reveal without a face invites suspicion, and suspicion invites mystic sexically, the climate where Damaras, Hortons, and Kyriokises make game-changing choices. Eric's balancing act. Eric's return places him in the role of peacekeeper and truth-teller, a difficult balance when family wounds are fresh and the spotlight is relentless. Expect him to be the person others confide in when tempers cool than the one asked to broker a fragile ceasefire that won't hold for long. What's Sami's really doing? Sami's greatest power is timing. By choosing this week, this ring, and this audience, she controls the conversation while forcing everyone else to react. Whether her fiancé is an old flame or a new force, the effect is the same. She sets the board, then waits for EJ, Lucas, and Kat to show their moves first. What to watch next? The first private Ajami conversation after the reveal. Wording will matter. Lucas follow up with Philip and whether that intel surfaces at the party. Kat's callback moment, watch for a line or prop that ties to her recognition beat. The baby shower's toasts and reactions around the ring in weekly footage. In a town where memory, motive, and marriage licenses carry equal weight, Sami's engagement is less a love story and more a test who adapts fast enough to survive the new order, and who exposes their heart while trying. This week, every glance is strategy, every question is a probe, and every congratulations is a coded challenge. 2. Next, Deidre Hall, 50 years of magic, memories, and Marlene, a legacy that began as just 13 weeks. Few names in daytime television carry the same weight, warmth, and enduring grace as Deidre Hall. For half a century, she has portrayed the beloved Dr. Marlene Evans on Days of Our Lives, becoming a symbol of strength, resilience, and timeless beauty to millions of fans around the world. Yet, what many may not know is that Hall's legendary journey, one that would help define the soap opera genre for generations, began with nothing more than a 13-week contract. It was never supposed to be a lifelong role. But as fate would have it, those short 13 weeks blossomed into a golden 50-year career that continues to inspire both longtime viewers and new generations of soap opera lovers. A humble beginning, 13 weeks that changed television history. In a recent interview with TV Insider, Deidre Hall reflected with gratitude and disbelief on her 50 years in Salem. She still remembers vividly when she first walked onto the set of Days of Our Lives in 1976. At the time, she had already appeared in The Young and the Restless as Barbara Anderson, a role that sparked her love for daytime drama. Yet, when her agent told her about a new opportunity on Days, she never dreamed it would change the course of her entire life. "When I first signed on, it was just a 13-week contract," Hall said with a smile. "There were no guarantees. You did your best and hoped people liked you. I remember the magazines back then had these popularity polls, and I was always looking, wondering, do you like me? Do you really like me?" The audience didn't just like her, they adored her. Within weeks, Marlene Evans became a favorite among viewers. She wasn't just another soap opera doctor or damsel in distress. She was compassionate, intelligent, and deeply human, and Hall's performance made her unforgettable. From that point on, there was no turning back. Deidre Hall had found her home in Salem, a love affair between actress and audience. Over the years, Hall has often credited her fans for keeping her inspired and motivated. In an industry known for change, she has remained a constant, a familiar face that brings comfort, nostalgia, and emotional connection to millions who have followed Days of Our Lives since its earliest days. "It's been 50 years, and every day still feels new," Hall said warmly. "I couldn't be happier. Our viewers have been through everything with us: weddings, heartbreaks, losses, miracles, and they're still here. That's what makes it so special." Hall isn't just celebrating her own milestone. The show itself marked its 60th anniversary, making Days of Our Lives one of the longest-running scripted television programs in American history. For Hall, These two anniversaries are deeply intertwined, both a testament to endurance, dedication, and the power of storytelling that resonates across generations. Finding home in Salem. When Hall first joined Days, she was immediately drawn to the warmth of the cast and crew. Soap operas are known for their long production days, their endless pages of dialogue, and their intimate behind-the-scenes camaraderie. For Hall, it was more than a job, it became a family. "I knew I had found a place that always felt like home," she shared. She quickly bonded with her fellow actors, many of whom she still counts as dear friends. Over the years, they have traveled together, celebrated milestones together, and supported one another through life's highs and lows. And while her character Marlene has endured everything from kidnappings to possessions, from love triangles to shocking resurrections, Hall herself has always carried the character's heart and dignity with grace. Marlene Evans, a character for the ages. It's impossible to think of Days of Our Lives without thinking of Marlene. To this day, fans recall her most iconic storylines with reverence and fondness. From her sweeping romance with John Black to her unforgettable possession by the devil, Marlena's journey has captivated hearts for 5 decades. "I've been blessed to tell Marlena's story in so many ways," Hall reflected. That sense of emotional authenticity is what makes Marlene stand out in the crowded world of daytime television. Even as the storylines grew wilder and more sensational, Hall grounded her performance in truth and humanity. That's why generations of viewers, many of whom have watched since the 1970s, still feel connected to her today. A special bond, working with her twin sister. Among all her cherished memories, one of the most meaningful to Hall was the opportunity to work with her twin sister, Andrea Hall. It all began with a simple question from Days of Our Lives head writer and Marcus, who asked Hall if there was a storyline she'd always wanted to do. Without hesitation, Deidre mentioned her twin. "I told her, I've always wanted to do a story with my twin sister. She was surprised she didn't even know I had one," Hall laughed. Soon after, the writers crafted a storyline introducing Samantha Evans, Marlena's twin sister, a role that Andrea Hall took on. Despite not having formal acting training, Andrea impressed everyone with her natural ability and emotional depth. She could cry on cue, Deidre remembered fondly. "She just had this raw emotion. Watching her, I thought, if she can do it, I can do it."